Hey there, it's Dr. Cole. How many of you have heard about the three-legged stool analogy? You've seen people use it before. Whole point being that if one of the legs is missing, the stool can't stand. I use that analogy when it comes to health too. There's three things that are really important in today's world, especially that relate to our health. Number one, if you can imagine the three-legged stool, one of those legs would be our DNA, our genes, right? We've been told that our genes are our destiny in the past. That was old dogma. Genes definitely influence us for sure, but the old idea that genes were our destiny, they were whatever our genes dictated, that's what we were. We know that that's not true today through a field of study called epigenetics. We know that genes of susceptibility or weak genes, which we all have weak genes, they need to be turned on. But the good news is we've learned that they can be turned off too. Well, the second leg of the stool is going to be stressors. Like, think about it in our lives. All the stress that we encounter, not just emotional stress, but physical stress and chemical stress. And that light's pretty bad there, huh? But these stressors in our life, they are what turn on those bad genes in that first leg of the stool. And it's the turning on of those bad genes now that will cause this weakness or this expression in your body that people think is purely genetic, but today we know really it's not purely genetic. Again, they have to be turned on. Good news is they can be turned off. The third leg of the stool, how many of you have been clued in when it comes to the gut, the microbiome, right? Even commercials today where they have yogurt talking about the good bacteria and the health of our microbiome influences the health of our body. Well, it's absolutely true, to the point that even we know that if you're missing certain bacteria, you might not be able to lose weight. Or if you have other bacteria that are missing, they're not able to regulate the white blood cells in our body, which is partly what they do. And then without that regulation of the white blood cells, in particular called our T regulatory cells, our immune system isn't regulated properly. And so this matters if you have an autoimmune disease like Hashimoto's, or you've got allergies or food intolerances, things like that, where your immune system is hyper and it's not being regulated properly. Well, that could be related to the health of your gut. And so with this three-legged stool analogy in mind now, all three legs have to be addressed if a person is going to get their health back. Do you have bad genes that are turned on? Well, there are some certain things that we can do, and science shows this. We call it the 5 R's of cellular healing. If we can accomplish those 5 R's, we can turn off the bad genes. If we can address the stressors in our life that are turning on those bad genes, that helps also in turning them off. And so with the stressors, well, that's going to basically boil down to what we do in terms of cellular detox that we use with our patients. It's not regular detox. It's not your mother's garden variety detox. It's cellular detox. If you're not getting to the cell level of the body and the brain, then you're not truly detoxing. You can do liver cleanses, colon cleanses, coffee enemas, infrared saunas, foot baths, all of those things, which definitely carry some weight. They're not that they're not good, but if you don't get far enough upstream, if you don't get into the cells of the body and the brain, then you're truly not detoxing, because our cells make us who we are, right? We're made of cells. All health and all life and health begins and ends at the cell level. All function starts and ends at the cell level of the body too. If you're in a state of dysfunction, it's a cell issue. It can be traced back to something gone wrong at the cell level. So you have to ensure the health of the cells. That is going to be the second leg of that stool. And then the third leg is going to be the gut, right? And with our gut, we have to ensure the health of our microbiome. And there are certain things that people are doing today that are damaging their gut. Some of these stressors that I mentioned in the second leg of the stool, they're also not only turning on bad genes, they're damaging our gut, right? So when we address it from that standpoint, and we are, covering all the bases, not just one of the legs, not just two of the legs, all three of the legs, now we can start to understand, why is it that people are getting sick? How is it that we're going to help people get their health back? If you want to know more, go to coleclass.com, where I get into more detail and I talk about things relating to the cause of why we are where we are and what we need to do to get our health back. God bless.